Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farm, and today I want to try to present to you guys the solutions to a problem that all tractor owners face at some point when they're working with their machine. And what I'm talking about is difficulty connecting hydraulic lines when there is pressure in the lines. So I want to show you what I do to solve this problem without buying anything. And then I want to show you a couple tools that could really be a lifesaver in certain situations. So in a recent video, I talked about a problem I had where I got stuck with my loader up in the air and the line under pressure, and it was dangerous, and I had to take the line apart with that load up in the air, and it dropped and it shot oil all everywhere, hydraulic fluid everywhere. It's a really bad situation, and what I've got here would have solved that problem. And this is a hydraulic pressure relief tool. And it's simple, it's affordable, it's an elegant solution to the problem. But before we get there, I want to show you what causes this problem and how I solve it without any tools. Because I was actually surprised in that video, I had a bunch of people telling me that every time they connect like a grapple line, they have to take the fitting off. And I almost never have to do that. So let me show you what I know and what I do in this scenario. Now, I haven't staged this in any particular way. There's a decent chance these will plug in without me doing anything right now. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Now, if you say I take this grapple off with the jaws open, then they're going to try to sag down, and that's going to put pressure on the lines, and it'll really be a problem. But I didn't do that. Also, if there's a temperature change, that can cause this. So these may plug right in, they may not. We're going to find out. Okay, that one plugged right in. All right, this is what I'm talking about. The female line won't plug in. All right, I got it. So in this case, I was able to get it. Now I'm going to try to set up a scenario where they won't plug in. Let me start the tractor up. The last time I really had a problem with this, it was with the backhoe on the tractor, because it had sat there and sagged down and it was under high pressure. And we had a hard time even getting the lines off, and then it's, shot fluid everywhere like I was talking about. So what I'm going to try to do to simulate that right now is take these lines off with the grapple up in the air. Shouldn't do that, but this replicates a scenario that could happen in different circumstances. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these lines off. Now the weight of these is trying to push that down. Now my expectation is it's going to be hard to plug the lines in. Let's find out. Okay, so I cannot get these plugged in. That's what I anticipated. It's what I've seen in the past. I knew that would happen. So now, let me show you just how I resolve it normally. Okay, so there are two problems here, potentially. I ran this and I shut it off. All the lines were under pressure. I shut the tractor off. That pressure is still in the lines. That's problem number one. The way we relieve that is just to activate the hydraulics, move the joystick. Now, pressure is relieved off the system, but that's only the tractor end. There is still pressure on the lines on the grapple. So the next thing I do is push on this, and it's letting fluid out. I just made a huge mess in my driveway, and hopefully I can clean that up before anyone sees it. But doing that, it worked this time, but sometimes you can't push this in. It depends on what it is. Like this is a new coupler. Maybe it's a high quality coupler. Maybe it's about the amount of hydraulic pressure we were under. But doing that right there has relieved it. It's let the grapples down, the clamps down on the grapple. I've relieved pressure here. I've relieved pressure here. I should be able to plug these right in. In this scenario with that grapple all the way open, you just saw me dump a huge amount of fluid. But normally, under a normal circumstance, it's a very small amount that leaks out when you push on the coupler. Hear it kind of hissing at me. It's got pressure. Okay, but I was able to plug it in. It was just hard to push. Now, we're going to set up that exact same scenario and compare two different types of tools to solve this problem for us that might be safer or more versatile, that could handle a situation that was a little bit worse than what we're dealing with. The video I keep referencing, I talked about my loader was stuck in the air, but a faulty design here with this loader caused the hose that lowers the loader to come off while that load was up in the air with weight on it. And I could not relieve that pressure. What you just saw pushing that against there, I could not push that in. And because I couldn't push it in, I couldn't relieve that pressure, and I had to take it off. And I've shown doing this before in other videos. I've shown myself relieving pressure by pushing on that or by taking a coupler off and that fluid squirting out. And I've had a lot of comments that that fluid is at 3,000 PSI or close to it, and that can shoot out so fast that it can penetrate your skin. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but apparently if that happens, it can be a major medical emergency, because something about the way that oil gets under your skin is very dangerous. I don't know the terms. I'm no medical professional. I'm just telling you what I've been told and what I've looked up a little bit online. And then the secondary concern is sometimes you can't push that in, and taking the couplers off, doing that over and over again, it eventually can round out the couplers, and it can kind of loosen up those threads where it wants to leak. I had a couple comments telling me that. And slamming that, when we were putting that backhoe on, I had someone here helping me that's actually more experienced with tractors than me, and he was banging that coupler on something trying to get the pressure out before we finally took it apart. And that can damage your couplers. So let's do it with this tool. Okay, so I've set this scenario up exactly like before. Popping the line off with this up in the air. I'm wiggling the joystick to relieve pressure. And I guess before I show you this, I want to address, I guess, what would be the elephant in the room regarding this product. Is I mentioned another product that is like an Irwin woodworking clamp with a special adapter on the end of it. And you slide that adapter in on each side of this, and you essentially force it to close. So we're trying to plug these two lines into each other, and we can't. It puts pressure on each side, and it forces them together. And there's a few problems with that. Number one, I've seen that pitched. I've seen it on other channels. I've had people tell me you should get one of those. My biggest problem with that is it's like if you're trying to assemble something and like a pin has to go through a bushing and it doesn't want to go, you're like, well, easy solution. I'll just get a sledgehammer. It's not the best solution. If it won't go together, there's a reason why. That reason is too much hydraulic pressure. Now, do I want to take two couplers that are under extreme pressure and force them to couple together? No, I really don't. I want to relieve the pressure. To me, that's preferable. The other thing that viewers of the other video told me is that there's a limit on how hard you can push with that clamp. Essentially, like by hand, from standing over here trying to plug that in, maybe I can put 50 pounds of pressure on that. Random number. I don't know how much pressure. Let's say it's 50 pounds of pressure I can put on that, and that's not enough. Well, the clamp can put 80 pounds of pressure. But it can't put 300 pounds of pressure. In a scenario like I had with that loader up in the air, what I was told is that probably would not provide enough pressure to have plugged that in. So in my mind, the female coupler for this is the more important one because it has an area for the fluid to release out. So I've started by backing this screw all the way off. I'm going to plug this in here. Goes on real easy. Then this should, whenever I twist this in, it should release that hydraulic pressure. See how quick that was? And what you could do, this isn't going to spray out, hit you in the face. It's not going to spray all over your tractor on the windshield like it happened to me. It's going to just release that pressure. And this is a hose barb. You could put a little hose on here and drain this into a bucket. Or you can let it rain like that. I mean, super easy. How long did that take? I just put it on, crank that just a little bit, fluid's off. No wrenches, no nothing. Now, this is such a simple, small setup that even if your tractor doesn't have much of a toolbox, you can throw this under the seat or in your cup holder or something if you want to keep this with you, or mount a little toolbox or whatever the case is. Now, this is an affordable product by my definition of it. This cost $100. $100 is not insignificant, but for a one-time purchase of something that's going to solve this problem for you, I think that's pretty good. Now, if you wanted to order a set of these, obviously they have to fit your couplers. And there are different types, different brands, different sizes of couplers. So you need to find out what type of coupler you have on your tractor. There are resources out there for it. Maybe the company could help you with it. But these are not a sponsored product for me. I bought these with my own money because I needed a set and I was in a hurry to get them. So I ordered them. I like them so much that after just one use, I've already emailed the company and I said, hey, I really like this product. I think it would help my viewers. Would you set up a discount code for my viewers? And I'm waiting to hear back from them. So in this video description, don't order a set without clicking the link, because if I have a problem with these and find out, oh, a month later or a year later I had a problem, I'll put that information in the pinned comment. But also, I might have a discount code for you, and either way, I'll have a link to the product where you can get this either on Amazon or on the company's website. After I was done recording this video, I talked to the owner of this company and he told me two things. Number one, this is busy time of the year for them. And a lot of times this time of year they sell out and they're waiting on another shipment to come in. But if you want one of these, you might want to move quickly, or you might have to wait, 3 or 4 weeks for them to come in, however long their lead time is. So just something to keep in mind, that they do sell out of them. Also, we're working on getting you guys a discount code that could save you a little bit of money on it. If you order through my link, it's probably going to pay me a commission. So I bought it out of my own money, but if the company wants to work with me or through Amazon, I might earn commission from selling this product. And I always like to disclose that. So I think this is a winner, and hopefully it's helpful to you. Maybe there's a percentage of people watching who didn't know the trick about wiggling the loader and pushing on the loader with that male coupler. And maybe that can help you guys there. So I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.